agenda.
Second.
All in favor? And it is unanimous. Superintendent's report, monthly financial reports.
We just finished, week 2 of summer school, and we have about a week and a half left. And it so far has been successful, at all of our schools. Now today at the high school level in Abbeville, we did have to, shut summer school down because it's run by internet, and the internet in, Abbeville was completely off for us. And that was because, I think it was almost the whole town, if I'm not mistaken.
Anything from Trinity Church,
So there was no need for students to just be there because they do their work on Edgenuity, that's online. But we've started off, having a lot of different planning meetings that are going on, and getting ready for the 26-27 school year.
So, summer school, is that, how do we determine those kids learning, do we test them by the community, and we test them all, or how do we determine if they're learning?
So Edgenuity is based off of the Alabama standards. So if they, let's say they failed biology, the standards for biology are covered in lessons, and they have to complete those lessons and then take a test. So it would be just as if they were standing in front of a teacher that were providing those standards. So it's standard based. So they have to master the standards for that course.
So do they have to take a test prior to, or just when it is?
They take tests all along when they complete their lessons. They have, so let's say they start with standard 1. When they complete the lessons for standard 1, they have a test at the end. But it's not a pre-test and a post-test, if that's what you're asking, because they just take the test to master the standards so they can move on to, completing it.
I'm just thinking, cause I'm not in favor of ingenuity.
It's skill-based.
I've always been in favor of a teacher, personally, in the classroom, especially if they fail. And then, if there's no prior test, they've already taken all the information, so the man already knows.
But if they knew it, they probably would have passed it during the school year.
But I'm just saying, I just want to see what the procedure is. But, I'm just curious as to how many students went fail math, how many students failed English.
I don't have exact numbers of who failed English and math. I do know, Mr. McKay, how many of you got at, Abbeville High School? 10 students. Headland High School is housing, summer school there for both Headland Middle and Headland High. And I think that they're averaging about the same.
So,
And it might not be English, and it might not be math. It might be that they failed a science, or they may have failed a history.
do we have any plan of putting a teacher in the classroom?
For summer school,
That's what I'm saying. I'm always worried about math, really, because if you can master those 2 courses, you can go better. I'm just wondering, if they fail, what the teacher sitting there teaching them? Are they gonna pass with a computer sitting there teaching? Because if this study's done on this now, the teacher in the classroom has much more.
okay, I guess my question is, would it be feasible for us to be able, let's say that we only have 3 kids to fail math. Can we have 1 teacher to do those 3 kids? And that could be for every subject. Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm only interested in math and English. All I'm saying is, we need to place emphasis on it. And I'm saying that because, when I go to these conferences, these principals, man, they put big time emphasis on math and English. Big time. And what they're
I
doing.
think every school
And
system
what they're
does.
doing is in some schools, they're putting teachers in. So I'm just saying, do we have any plans,
No, but I will say this, so what schools are you talking about? Because the majority are using actually Access that's through the State Department, that's. There's a lot of school systems with that. Okay, I'd like for you to get me
I just
some,
don't-
so that, hold on,
Listen.
just so that I can get some research.
Okay.
Can you give me names of the school districts? Be glad
Stand by
to.
door, and I got some names I need you to give me, okay?
And you email them like I've asked,
names.
I will be glad
Yeah.
to respond to you if you send an email as I've asked.
I'll be happy to if you give me the name.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Financial?
Okay, for December 2025, we have, a balance of $1,982,558.43, with $1.99 left in reserve. That's compared to, 2.07 left in reserve in '24. Our consultants are still working on our bank statements, and they work, at their own pace and time, because they.
Your
work
contract.
Their contract, and they also work with other school systems, so, but they are making progress.
Do we know how much, we don't have any more ESSER funds?
Oh, no, answer funds went out the door,
Before.
unfortunately.
September 24th.
September 30th.
Any more questions or concerns? Number 3, recommend the board approve the December 2025 bank reconciliation.
Second.
All in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the meeting minutes from May 14, 2026, and May 26, 2026. All in favor? 4 yes, 1 abstain. Recommend the board approve the official FY 2026 budget amendments.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, this, budget amendment, this reflects, you have a page that has the budget amendments, and it reflects the new allocations we received after our original budget. We, received money for the ARI initiative for summer reading. And actually, I have the purpose wrong over there, that's not wrong, but that's not right, but it is $20,286. Our ARI reading interventions at Abbeville Elementary, that allocation is $90,000. We have a stipend for, the future teachers of Alabama, which is $1,500. The, licensed interpreters and, teachers of the deaf, we have an allocation of $189,400 for those interpreters. For behavior analysts, we have $112. It's at least $56,000 per analysis, or analyst. The special ed teachers and speech therapists, they receive a supplement, and those funds came in. The special education teachers received $33,128, and the speech therapist, $3,645. We received a cybersecurity grant, which is $70,000, $70,914. We also received, the Alabama College and Career Readiness Grant for $25,000. That, supplies the resources, for students for college and career readiness, and helps them prepare for a successful transition after high school.
We pay, actually, an ACT for all of our 10th graders with that. That's one of the things that we do, so they get a free ACT in the 10th grade also.
Those are the state funds. At the bottom, we had changes in our federal allocations, and they were very minimal. For our Title I, our original allocation was $870,000. the new amount is $878,854, and the old amount was $878,866. For Title II, that increased by $170, and it is now $145,194. And then we'll change, we have to adjust the beginning balances to match the 2025 ending balance. And those are the amendments on the budget for 2026.
Those interpreters have needed, so we have to have the money in case a kid comes in.
Okay, so we have children, we have 3 students that are tied to interpreters, and they're in different grade levels, so you have to, kind of like if you had a medical, yes, if you had a medical need that where you had like a, say, you know, if you had a trach, and you would have to have that nurse, so they are required, for their, and so they actually, they sign through class.
They're tied with.
They're tied with, and in fact, we had one that's moving to 6th grade, and so we transferred her in the May meeting, so that she could go up.
We have to have kind of a cushion just in case we get.
We have a grant for that, I mean, like,
This
yes.
is, yeah, this is a grant, but it depends, you know, sometimes they don't have enough, I mean, she'll have to go in and request for more funds.
Mhm.
because They get depleted,
Yeah.
they get depleted quickly.
Yeah.
And we have, because, you know, let's say that the interpreter is sick, then we have to have someone to fill in such as a sub. So if you remember, we did a contract to have a sub that would be on standby if someone was sick or not able to come.
Any more discussions, comments? All in favor? It is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the bid for floor waxing for $76,651 with Russian Enterprises. Discussion.
We had 2 bids, the other bid came in at $140,000. So, we got, of course, with the lowest bid.
What floor would you do?
We did the whole school.
It's what you were trying to do.
At this point, we do the gyms later. At a later time. And they could bid, including they had like a bid that was for the entire school, and then a bid that was, to include the gyms also.
Any more questions, comments?
Well, I got one comment. I think it's very good attention on the basketball team to take $4,000 out of it, and we can flow it in. PE classes, anyway, I know, I have no problem with that, I'm just saying. Those programs are better than, health. The summer programs you support, you got all this stuff, every dollar is very, very important. I just thought that was fair to take all of the $4,000 and move it forward, basketball, but I think the school system should supply these things.
Okay, and so if you remember, you approved an allocation to schools, and one part of it was like janitorial, one was maintenance, one was local. Each school, and I did it per pupil allocation, if you remember, you did this, that was it March or April that this was done? And so, each school, they're able to use funds such as that to go for the waxing of a floor, or for minor maintenance things, and for their janitorial supplies.
So you're saying that the money is there to do it, and I'm saying that it wasn't done. Now, what, it's talking about you.
And I'm saying that this was given in March.
I'm telling you, it wasn't done, so that's back on you.
Well, where you get your figures
I'm
from?
trying to tell you,
But I'm
that-
asking you
trying to
where
tell
you
you
get
that
your
the
figures.
basketball team paid the $4,000 for the floor.
Which basketball team are you talking about?
Thank you.
Did they pay for, and I'll just ask, did they pay? That's really more of a school level decision. And if they come to me, I can assure you, hold on,
I'm just telling you what's right and what's wrong. We don't take the school, we don't take the basketball money totally to the floor. Now, you can figure out all this other stuff, that's what my favorite. I'm telling you, that needs to be dealt with.
well, I can say this, anytime that you've ever called and said, hey, can, you help us with this or help us with that, have I not always supported the schools?
Yes, to answer that question, Mr. Brooks paid their money out of the girls' basketball account to have the gym floor covered, because he knew the guy that, normally does the floor, so he worked out, a deal with them. But I do know with this maintenance, fee that we have received, going into the future, that, to pay for that gym floor, that's where the money will be coming
Is
from.
it's about 50,000 that I gave in maintenance.
Where'd you say the gym floor maintenance is coming from?
From the maintenance fee that we get, you school.
You won't come from the basketball court. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. So, I'm all I'm saying is that, it's not right to take the $4,000 from basketball fund and do the whole floor and none from the school fund. It has been done, but it's not right to do it. Now, I just wanna see what you're gonna do about it.
Well, I think we've already,
That's okay.
Well, the future, you got future,
I would say, if we've got a contingency fund, and I do agree that there are more people that are using those floors than just the basketball. So, but I think at the local, at the school level, they can figure that out, you know,
but if it's not, then it goes back to her.
and if it's not, that's where the principal says, hey, I need to talk with the superintendent, let's have a conversation.
I'm not blaming the school.
Okay.
I'm saying, oh, that's okay.
And no, it's a partnership together between the schools, if they have a need.
What I was saying is.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, all in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the renewal of athletic insurance with Team Assured in the amount of $19,503.12 beginning August 1, 2026 and ending July 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion.
This is a yearly fund, this is the athletic, insurance that we have to cover.
Discussion. Call for the vote, all in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the listing of a Helen Middle School tractor on Gov. Deals. Discussion.
Did you send me pictures of the tractor? Okay, and so, you know, we are just gonna get the highest bid that we can possibly, it's not really working, and so therefore, we just feel like we can get maybe a little bit of money off of it. The same for the next one also.
So, Ms. Carroll, our board members can't bid on that.
Board members definitely cannot bid on that.
Call for the vote, all in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the listing of the Adria High School tractor on Gov. Deals.
second.
Call for the vote, all in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the CNP adult child visitor meal price change for lunch from $5 to $5.25.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
We're, of course, Ms. Sowell has gotten the go-ahead that for the next 3 years, we will have free lunch for all of our students again, like we've had for the past 3 years. But in looking at, the pricing for adults and seeing how our budget is, she's needing to go up 25 cents. Which if you think about it, there's not many places that you can go and have a full meal, at $5.25.
When you said that it's been approved for the next 3 years for lunch, does that include breakfast?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
the
we
kid
need-
doesn't have to pay
Good.
anything, just like the same thing that, they've had,
Mm-hmm.
over the last, well, really, it's probably been 5 years now. But it's a 3-year cycle, and so for the next 3 years, we're good to go for our students.
If they include, we're getting something.
Oh, yes, summer's taken care of. In fact, we have a summer feeding that anyone from the community can come in. They can't leave out with a plate, but we furnish for our Boys and Girls Club. They're bussed over and they eat, breakfast and lunch. And that's at Abbeville Elementary, in Abbeville, and in Heaven, they do it at Heaven Elementary.
Call for the vote, all in favor? And it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the overnight trip to Valdosta, Georgia for the Heaven High School boys basketball team to basketball camp with a day of wild adventures on June 19th, 2026.
I mean, all of the overnights have been sent in to you.
And I'm gonna just throw this in there, I'm happy to tell about you. All the years I've been down, I'm happy to tell you, getting to her, giving my team to go. But on the same problem, but the problem is that having a high school is not giving opportunity, the same opportunity. And when I was coaching, the summer was when I could go with my team. All the players was in, you could play the whole month, travel over there, travel up to the team camps. All your offensive defense, everything is in that month. They can mull over it, question over it, develop it, change it, improve it the rest of the year. But if you don't get that opportunity, it's gonna be behind, way behind. So, I'm just saying, I'm happy that you haven't given the opportunity to develop to the championship. But now, you need to deal with the fact that having a high school, you're not getting that same opportunity. And that needs to be dealt with, and I'm talking about, they should have somebody in place, and I'm talking about their coach. Put them through their offensive sets, or defensive sets, team camp, develop. Look at Tyson, how it was. They play 15, 20 ball games.
I was just gonna say, I did hear somebody say
So what I'm saying is, I want to make it very, very clear that this is hurting their opportunity to develop. Now, I'm just telling you, had I not got the opportunity to do that, I would not have developed myself, nor would I be able to develop my ball. So I'm saying that since, y'all created this situation, I need to fix it, and need to fix it as possible. For the sake of the kids, I don't have the ball, I'm just saying.
Does the Abbeville High School, do they have the opportunity to set up camps and do you allow the coaches to do what they need to do? Not just basketball, any other thing.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, the whole athletic department is meeting at the football stadium behind us every morning at 6:30 until 9:00. We have football, basketball, track, volleyball, softball, cheerleaders, everybody is out there. If they don't have anything to do, if they're not working, they're at home every day. Once they finish, volleyball is going straight to, the gym to practice. They're practicing now. I have sponsored the cheerleading camp this week. They have a showcase on Saturday. As a matter of fact, now as we speak, the basketball teams are meeting, even though we don't have a full-time coach. We have coaches that are going to teach fundamentals. I have brought other people in that are going to help with those fundamentals until we get a full-time basketball coach. And until I fix that, then we will make sure next year that these kids go to summer camps. Even if I gotta pay for it out of my pocket, I'll make sure our kids are successful. So our kids are on board, finally on board, they are having fun, they are ready to move forward. So I don't know what the outside chatter is, but if you ask our students what they wanna do, they're gonna tell you up front. They're gonna tell you what type of coach they want, they're gonna tell you it's time to win championships in that year. So our kids are excited, they're ready to swarm as one, and, ready to move forward, so.
Well, I can say I'm happy to try this one, I'm very happy with you. But having coached my whole life, I'm just telling you, without that coaching place, it's gonna hurt baseball, they had their coach in January. And I'm
And
happy,
that-
wait a minute, now let me finish, I'm very
When
happy.
you say it,
Let
you
me
say
speak.
it in a
Chairman,
generic.
would you get her in line?
But no, I mean, can
Put her in
But
line,
if he's
I'm
asking-
talking now, so put her in line.
Listen, can we-
But no, I just need clarification
Well,
from
you need to
you.
be quiet now, it's my time to talk. Y'all just let her run away.
What,
Put her-
you're the
put her
one
in
that's
listen,
out of control.
be cool. She was, and I was kinda confused on, are we talking about Abbeville, or we talking, okay, that,
Because I know I know our football coach was Coach Tyler this year, and he was put in place before the school year started. So, at Headland High School, their coach resigned after the school year. That was not anything of my making. He got a job at Rehoboth High School. And we immediately put someone in place after that in December. You all voted for that. And I back my schools and my school administrators, because this is their job to do the day in and day out, and come to me, and if there are questions that I have to them, then that's when I have those conversations. But I do believe his vision,
We see a year prior to that, the coach was up, fired the coach in January, you never know in January. And
Ain't nobody
wait a minute,
fired.
I'm happy with that, that's what you should do. But that basketball team deserves the same opportunity, they need their coach. Now, I don't know why you're waiting, now, are you gonna get a unit for that, are you gonna have within, or what are you gonna do? A lot of people wanna
I'm
know.
gonna refer that to,
this is school level.
No,
they
no,
make a
no, no.
recommendation.
No,
The
no.
superintendent does not say, this
You
is
don't
who
know
the
what
coach
nothing
is.
is, you want a recommendation for the person to hire.
They put the recommendation up to
You
me,
wanna put it to us.
and I'm
So
not
that's
the
what
one
I'm
that
saying.
fired them,
Since
they
you-
were
since you-
volunteer
since you always
coaches.
make sure the football team get theirs, and I'm happy with that. The
I'm
basketball
sure
team
everybody
Deserve
does.
their share too, they deserve a coach now, not later, now.
Can I ask, what is our process look like?
Our process is we're gonna start, I mean, this meeting, we're gonna open it up, and we're gonna find us the next,
Is the process any different for high school basketball in Abbeville than it is at any other school in the system?
Can I interject? And I'm gonna ask everybody that's administrator that has been in charge at their school, do you hire the people that you want, or you take recommendations from somebody off the streets? I'm asking that question.
No.
Because if I'm in charge, I'm not asking my
When
charge
I
off
was-
the streets about who I hire.
When
I'm looking for who I think is best for our kids. Nobody in this room asks about our kids. I don't see y'all over there asking about our kids. You need to ask the first circle. You know how many times somebody asked, when them kids asked me to be a basketball coach? Dude,
And when I was an administrator at Headland Middle School, I did the hiring, Ms. Shots, you did too, and you made the recommendation to the superintendent. And I am in communication with them, but I'm not going to micromanage them or be, as you said last month, a dictator. I'm not a dictator.
Don't practice it if you want, if you practice it.
That's your opinion.
Well, I think Mr. McKay would say, we have, okay, whatever. You
Well,
can have
all
your
I'm
opinion.
saying is, Lee, if you need to get us a head coach, now however you wanna magnify it, whatever, needs to be right away.
I would just say, there's a system in place for this exact situation, and I'm gonna trust the administrators who are closest to the kids to make a great recommendation to the superintendent, and she carries this to the board, and then we vote on it. That's how we do business.
So, I got no problem with that, but when, in the next month, next 6 months, 8 months, I'm saying now. People are being hurt, people are being deprived of an equal opportunity to succeed.
I think the students, I think it's been said multiple times by the school by the school, that the kids are working and are getting those.
And I just told you, Ms. Lee, that's not the same as a coach putting in his offense and defense play and going to team camp. It's something, that's all he can do at this time, but you won't have one. But I'm telling you, that's not equivalent to what Helen is doing, other teams are doing. They enjoy team camp, they put their offense, defense in, their offense, everything, fast break, they put all that in. and they got a chance to mull over and improve everything from now to the time school start. So I'm telling you,
Thank you,
get us a coach.
duly noted,
Get us
duly
a coach.
noted.
Thank you for doing the note.
I would just reiterate, there is a process and they are working towards that process. And we're gonna trust those people and we're gonna stay in our lane and we're gonna trust that they know because they are the boots on the ground, you know. not
Does
us.
everybody know our, excuse me,
But I also wanna remind you, Ms. Campbell, who is the day-to-day operation and who is a policymaker?
The board is the policymaker, the superintendent and the other administrators are in charge of the day-to-day operation. The board doesn't hire anybody, the board doesn't even is not even supposed to tell the superintendent who to hire.
That's
because
very
they have-
unethical, isn't it?
Very unethical.
wanna
She
do
did
that
We
now.
don't tell her who to recommend, but we also tell her who to hire, we vote. So that's a little bit.
But you don't call before and say, hey, I need you to hire such and
No, we
such.
don't do that, I said, we.
I sure would.
Okay.
Whatever they
Okay, that's it,
say, you
that's
can do
it,
it
that's
now.
it, that's it, that's.
does everybody realize where our situation is at the high school? That situation being this, we have 0 units. We're bound by our pupil enrollment. So at this particular time, it's an in-house possible look. Unless we can work out something where we get some help from y'all, and maybe Ms. Beasley, and she is Jennifer, we've been in conversations with her. But at 28 years, I realize this policy and this procedure has a little bit of workings to be about it. But until we get that, and I can assure you, if it's my decision, I do not want volunteer people that's not on and coming off the streets because they're not invested. I don't care who they are.
Well, listen, Coach, you're entitled to.
Coach Davis, I respect you, and I am, I'm gonna be entitled, but I do not care, I don't use volunteers. I've done it once before, and simply for this, when I had an issue with one during the time where they were kneeling and doing this, I had a volunteer, and I could hear him whisper to my players, like, what if we volunteered? I fired him on Monday. Because that grown man put my kids in a situation to where, and we had TV cameras up here weekly. You know the first thing they'd have done? They'd have bought one of my, D can't see or Jay, and put the camera in front of them, and I asked them on Monday, what are you kneeling for? That many of them knew what they were kneeling for.
Well, let me say this.
So, good players, coaches, this, that, and the other, it's who's invested in the kids, and none of y'all come and ask our kids.
Because listen, I respect your opinion.
I appreciate it, but y'all are going about, you're not even asking and trusting this man.
Well, let me say this.
But what he's basically saying is that y'all are doing great, the superintendent is at fault in everything.
It starts right here, it got nothing to do with her, because we have to go through
Let
her.
me say this. The bottom line is that we get the best basketball coach that we can find. I don't care if you come from New York City or New York. I don't care about the procedure. I don't care about this all this other stuff. You know and I know that most of the great basketball coaches who play the game are not in education. They are out there in other fields. Now, our job is to give these, just like I had now, but if I hadn't had a good one, I would have never become one of the top players in the state.
All right, we're gonna.
Listen now, let me finish this statement. Our job is to get the best coach we can find for these kids, or we'll mistreat them. We're taking away
Thank
an
you.
opportunity.
Thank you, and I'm at the schools now, and I talk to the kids, so we need to listen to our kids, and we need to follow our process. Okay, so now we're gonna move forward, and we're going to vote on, we are on number 11, all in favor? All right, it is unanimous. Recommend the board approve the overnight trip to Tallahassee, Florida, and Valdosta, Georgia for the Heatherton High School girls basketball team to attend a basketball camp on June 26th through 30th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor? It is unanimous.